JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. Police apologized to a wrongfully identified man as wanted for murder. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JSF has apologized for a wrongfully identified man as being wanted for murder, saying it has taken steps to prevent the recurrence of such errors in the future. In a statement on Friday, the JSF acknowledged that it had incorrectly used an image of construction worker Orlando Gray in their Wanted Wednesdays campaign, in which it stated that Gray was wanted for a murder committed in Portmore, St. Catherine. The morning after his image was erroneously published, Gray turned himself in at the Mandeville police station with his father and a pastor to clear his name. Gray said in a TVJ News report that he was taken into custody and transferred to police in Portmore, during which he was allegedly berated by cops and accused of being a killer. Gray was eventually released after 4 days in custody and said he now lives in fear of his life due to the mix-up. According to the JCF, the error occurred due to the existence of another individual with the identical name who is, in fact, wanted in connection with a murder investigation. We deeply regret this mistake and offer sincerest apologies to Mr. Orlando Gray, recognizing any inconvenience or distress this may have caused, the JCF said. It said it has since conducted a thorough review of its internal processes and quality management systems to ensure the accuracy and integrity of all information released to the public. We are committed to preventing any recurrence of such errors in the future. As always, we remain dedicated not only to reducing crime and ensuring public safety, but also to upholding the human rights and civil liberties of every individual, the JCF said. St. Mary's most wanted man turns himself into police. The St. Mary police say the division's most wanted man, Andrew Dixon, has turned himself in. The police say, accompanied by a pastor and family members, he surrendered to the Onoto Bay police about 3 p.m. on Thursday. He was wanted by the police for shooting and wounding with intent. Motorcyclist killed in crash in Linstead, St. Catherine. A motorcyclist was killed in a crash with a car along the Linstead bypass in St. Catherine on Thursday. The deceased has been identified as Bertland Graham of Bogwalk in the parish. According to reports, about 6:40 p.m., Graham was driving a motorcycle along the roadway when he collided with a Toyota Axia motor car. Graham and the driver of the car were assisted to the Linstead Hospital, where Graham was pronounced dead. The driver was warned for prosecution. The Bogwalk Traffic Department is investigating the matter. Man seen in viral video of fatal shooting offered bail. Attorneys argue self-defense. A utility company worker charged in connection with last month's fatal shooting of his neighbor with a Scott on camera was today offered $2 million bail when he appeared before the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court. The 52-year-old accused, Ishmael Davis, is charged with the murder of 57-year-old construction worker Norris Farquharson. As part of his bail condition, Davis was ordered to surrender his travel documents and report to the police. A stop order has also been imposed at all ports. Allegations are that about 7:10 a.m. on May 27, an argument developed between the two men along Tavern Avenue in St. Andrew. During the dispute, Davis reportedly used his licensed firearm to shoot Farquharson twice in the head. The incident was captured on CCTV and has since gone viral on social media. However, Davis's legal team, led by King's Counsel Peter Champagne and attorney Samoy Campbell, presented alternate video footage to the court, which they say shows a different perspective of the incident. According to the defense, the footage indicates that Davis may have acted in self-defense as Farquharson appeared to be reaching for an item in his waistband during the confrontation. A knife was later recovered from the scene. Davis is scheduled to return to court on July 14, 2025, when the matter will again be mentioned. St. Elizabeth man dies in house fire, 3 relatives injured. A man died in a house fire in Newton, St. Elizabeth on Thursday morning. He has been identified as 40-year-old Ezra Gale. 3 members of his family, 2 women and a man, were injured in the blaze. Residents reportedly heard screams for help and saw fire coming from the 12-bedroom dwelling sometime after 4 a.m. One resident said neighbors were able to assist the 3 people from the house before it was totally engulfed by flames.
When we come out, the one side of the house, the on fire already. And the lady inside, she has said, help me, help me, help me. Now we go into the people say, where your mommy? And she say, in mommy in there. We say, all right, we could help your mother come out. But with help 3 come out, but the next one we couldn't make it around that side. The fire went too much on that side. If we have more help, we could have managed, but the help there.
A teenager escaped unharmed. 2 units from the Santa Cruz fire station extinguished the blaze. Superintendent Kimor Brooks Divisional Commander for the St. Elizabeth Fire Department said the cause of the fire is not yet being determined.
I want to use this medium also to encourage persons who occupy dwellings that are grilled to ensure that the keys are kept at a central location so all occupants can have access in cases like this. I also want to encourage the citizens here in St. Elizabeth to be familiar with the telephone numbers for the fire stations in your area, because this will aid in our response time so we can get to the scenes as fast as possible.
Reputed gang leader shot dead. Cops move to prevent retaliation. The police are moving to prevent any form of retaliation following the killing of a reputed gang leader in Olympic Gardens, St. Andrew, on Wednesday night. The deceased, Mark Harrison, otherwise called Mark II, the leader of the 440 Drive gang, was reportedly shot dead by one of his henchmen at his home, the police said. Reports indicated that around 11 p.m., Harrison was at home when he was approached by one of his cronies, who pulled a gun and shot him several times in the upper body. The man fled, and the residents assisted Harrison to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he later died while undergoing surgery. The St. Andrew South Police reported that in the days leading up to the incident, the gang leader and his alleged killer were frequently seen together in the community. They engaged in seemingly friendly interactions, socialized, drank, and spent time together in a manner that did not indicate a conflict. The police said the gang leader's killing has significantly increased the potential risk of retaliation. According to the police, there is a high likelihood that the gang may initiate counterattacks as they possess the capabilities and resources to cause harm. Harrison, the police said, maintained deep ties to the criminal underworld. He had numerous criminal associates who may choose to avenge his death, thereby escalating tensions and triggering further acts of violence. As a result, the police have requested that Courtney Bloodstain Ashley, also called Orlando Williams, Biggs and Alien, and who is wanted in the division for murder and shooting, to turn himself in. The police have also listed 3 persons of interest: Tevin Clark of Seaward Drive, Damari McKnight, otherwise called Cujo, and Mark Harrison Jr., otherwise called Paso. These 4 men are to report to the Hunts Bay Police Station by noon tomorrow. The police said the motive of the attack on Harrison is unclear. However, it was revealed that the alleged killer was brought into the 440 Drive gang and community by the now deceased. This gang is involved in murders, shootings, rental, extortion, and contract killing, the police said. Furthermore, the police share that the gang is involved in an active feud or turf conflict with the neighboring Samokan gang. This conflict has resulted in multiple murders, shootings, and arson attacks. According to the police, Harrison had multiple encounters with law enforcement. In 2015, he was stopped while riding a bicycle, searched, and found in possession of a parabellum pistol along with a magazine containing 10 rounds. He was arrested, charged, and later released in relation to that matter. On November 2, 2018, Harrison was again arrested and charged with shooting with intent, assault of common law, unlawful wounding, illegal possession of a firearm, and illegal possession of ammunition. Deported U.S. sex offender slapped with local charges. A convicted sex offender was deported to Jamaica from the United States on Thursday, was charged under the Sexual Offences Act on his arrival at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston. 28-year-old Sanjay Walsh, otherwise called Siki, was wanted by the St. Mary Police for multiple counts of sexual intercourse with a person under the age of 16. It was met by the police at the airport who executed a warrant of arrest. The charges stemmed from incidents that occurred between November 2017 and January 2018 in Highgate, involving a then 15-year-old girl. The complainant, now 23, reported that she met Walsh in 2016 and developed a relationship with him. It's alleged that they engaged in sexual intercourse on multiple occasions during the stated period. A formal report was made to the police, resulting in a warrant being issued for Walsh's arrest. In June 2023, a Connecticut court convicted Walsh of sexual assault in 2 children and tampering with evidence. He served a sentence of 21 months, which was shortened from the original 10 years he received. The court also required Walsh to register as a sex offender for 10 years following his release. He was arrested by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency in December last year. Haitian man who arrived with a group in Portland tested positive for malaria. One of the 42 Haitians who landed in Long Bay, Portland on May 18 and were returned on May 20 tested positive for malaria. This was disclosed by the Medical Officer of Health for Portland, Dr. Sharon Lewis, at Thursday's monthly meeting of the Portland Municipal Corporation. Dr. Louis said the Haitians were processed at Port Antonio Hospital, where health checks were done. She said the positive result for malaria in an adult male was returned 2 days after he was repatriated. Dr. Louis said the man displayed no symptoms of the virus.
I wish to use this opportunity to remind the public that malaria in a person from a country where the disease is endemic often presents with mild symptoms, and as in that case of that man, it may present with no symptoms. In this case, the male had no symptoms. That is why we warn our citizens to alert the police and the health team when persons who are not Jamaicans arrive by boat on our shores without going through the official ports. These persons should be assessed immediately after their arrival so that we can take the necessary public health measures to protect our citizens from the possible introduction or reintroduction of infectious diseases to our country.
JBNN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.